Dame Dash tells Charlemagne that he's not a proper representation for masculine black men. There's a lot of people like you that are gay but pretend that they are not. Let's get after it.
I don't think you're a proper representation of the masculine black man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you guys are.
I'm listening. Okay.
Like, your OG is Wendy Williams. My OG is sitting right here. You see him? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you why he's my OG. Because he killed anybody or any of those things. He just taught me how to be a better man.
Wendy's not my OG.
Can you
That's
stop?
funny, though.
Can you stop?
Wendy Williams is your OG.
Wasn't she your boss?
Yeah, at one point.
So she was your OG. She put you on, and you should give her grace. And you should also give her props out of respect.
Oh, I know.
But because we have different trauma, like, we're different. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that would, like, I'd rather get my ass whipped than run. But you're proud that you ran.
Yeah.
I'd rather get my ass whipped. And it ain't no disrespect, but I kind of think you're gay. You just act a little gay.
You got a problem with gay people?
Not at all. I've got a problem with people that pretend they're not gay. So let me tell you why.
But what if
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
This is hilarious. I love
you're
what
gay.
you're doing. This is hilarious.
So what I'm saying is, you might, because you started in gossip, which is, is very feminine, and you want people to listen to you, and that we want people that represent masculinity, because men need to be doing what they need to do as men. They don't need to be worried about girl stuff. Do you think he's masculine? Would you want this man around you if 10 guys jumped you? He'd run, and you'd have to run with him. I like my women to feel safe when they're around me. I don't tell people, like, and I'm not saying that's your way, but you're just not masculine. I've seen him run. I looked at a whole reel of, there's like a thing that says how many people bark. There's stuff that how many times you talk about other people's genitals. You real masculine men don't do that.
Yeah.
You said that some guys was throwing you kisses because they liked your paws butt, and you went back. That's gay.
Why do you have such a problem with gay
I don't have a problem. I have a problem with you. Wait. No. Yeah, that is why I pause. There's a lot of people like you. There's a lot of people like you that are gay that that pretend they're not.
I keep laughing too, by the way, because it's wild to be listening to this while also looking at this thumbnail picture of Charlotte. Like, is this real right here? Yeah, this is wild. Nevertheless, though, taking apart some of Dame Dash's arguments right here, I think it's purpose-driven, right? I think as men, we have to begin to distinguish between strategic masculinity and as well as machismo or bravado masculinity, because these are very different things. I appreciate Dame Dash as a public figure and some of the things that he has done or shown. And I can tell that when you listen to him from a financial perspective, like when he starts to talk about business, you could tell he's a dude raised in the hood. I believe he's from Harlem. He was raised in the hood. He doesn't have formal understanding of these things, but you could tell he's sort of learning it on the way as he goes. But he wraps everything in this sort of like hood mentality as well. All right. So when I hear something, I'm getting there. And along with business, he does it as well with masculinity. For example, if you are being jumped, right? If you know that there's one of you and that there's 5 other dudes out there, you not knowing who these dudes are, how much of a problem that you are to these dudes, you don't know if they got a knife, they got a piece on them, the pew-pew on them. You don't know what it is that they're about to do. To call a man not masculine because he took the strategic route out to save himself enough to be able to walk the next day, to be able to provide for his family the next day. I think that masculinity in modern times should be wrapped in, if you want to conduct yourself as a strategic thinker versus a brute force masculine type of a dude, because I think that it is not smart to stay into a place, and he says something like 10 guys, if there's an escape route. If there is no escape route whatsoever, and if you are not a Second Amendment holder and you got no other options than to be faced with people with brass knuckles, right? Some might be trained fighters. Some may want to break bones, but you just want to be able to wake up the next day and provide for your family. Sometimes you have to take a intelligent route out. I've talked about this story before, that I was engaged in a road rage incident. And instead of me getting out the car and fighting with this person, right, I made the decision to get out of the way because they came and they walked up to my car, but I'm saving this man's life because I'm in a stand your ground state and I had my pew-pew on me. So because of my strategic masculinity in comparison to his bravado masculinity, his hood masculinity, which sometimes is derived off of not logical thinking, but it can be derived off of emotional thinking. Because of that, I saved his life and avoided a lot of lawyer fees for myself. And at the end of the day, you don't want the blood of someone else on your hands, self-defense situation or not. Now, as I say all of this, I am not defending the allegations of the brother being homosexual. I don't know the brother at the end of the day, so I don't say that about anybody unless you meet them, right? Or unless they say that they are. Now, I will say calling out men's genitalia, and in so much to the extent of people having a list, that is gay behavior, full stop. Now, when I say gay behavior, I'm not saying that the man is gay. But let's face it, in modern times today, there's sort of this allowance of certain type of facets of men to display this like homosexual talking points or behavior. And it's like normalized to a degree. And it's subtly, I think that it's subtly normalized in these mainstream dominated places where they can softly introduce homosexual activities as if it's normal for heterosexual men to make jokes like this, to be talking in this manner. And for those points, I agree with Dame Dash, and that's why I try to stay as far away as I can from the introduction to Hollyweird or Hollywood or some of these mainstream platforms that I think have been co-opted and corrupted a long time ago. And in reference to his comments about gossiping, that's also why when I do content, I try to find some type of solution or some type of lesson learned, or I'm trying to find some type of value out of the content to be able to speak to you guys in order to enrich or enhance value as you step into life so that you can either avoid certain situations or gravitate towards certain people or situations or environments in order to try to increase your knowledge and our understanding. I always try to focus on the lessons learned, because if it's just talking about someone for the sake of talking about somebody, then I get the idea that that is effeminate behavior, because that's gossip. All right. That's also why sometimes I don't respond back to people within, that you guys either seen me with, because they just want to go back and forth for the sake of content. And I'm not here for it.
Black men can't be gay.
Black
Dame?
men that
That's
are
not what
gay
he's
should
saying.
say they're gay.
Well, I'm not gay.
You are.
You are.
Anyway, now let me talk
Then
to
you're
you.
broke.
Let me
If
ask
I'm
you.
gay, you're broke.
Let me say this. You
Dame,
acting like a girl.
You move like an old auntie. You an old Harlem auntie.
I could
yo.
punch you right in your face
Why?
like a grown man. I won't.
And then we gonna
and you
fight.
won't do
See,
shit.
Dame, this is with the
That's
chatty
not
patty.
right.
So
Now,
just
let's
so
not
you
get
know, because I knew you was gonna
Yeah,
say
nah,
that.
I've
is
seen
one
you
thing.
run.
Yes.
That's I
That was
seen you.
before the guy.
I'm not
Let's
saying
be
I will.
respectful. Let's
I'm
be
saying
respectful.
no. Then
Let's be respectful.
your version of respectful is different than mine. We were on the street right now and you were talking like that. I would have fucked you up.
you
But
got
I'm not
beat
going to do that. Nah, I wouldn't have got beat up.
But
No,
Dame,
I wouldn't have got beat up. Let's
Can Dame fight?
So let me say one more thing before I leave.
I have so many questions.
All right. Oh, you're right.
How you want to leave?
When I see Dame on one side of the coin talks about effing Charlemagne up, that's the hood masculinity, the machismo masculinity that I was talking about earlier. And then when I hear him say, but then I'm not, that's the businessman, or some people might refer that to the lame masculinity, the clown masculinity. But, the idea that logically thinking or strategically thinking about your move, so either A, you don't get sued, or you lose future business opportunities or professional opportunities. If that's considered lame, then a lame I will be. You'll find no shortage of people, especially on the internet, determining how you should conduct your masculinity if they were in your shoes. But the fact is that they are not in your shoes, nor do they have your bank accounts. Now, this interview was taken from a currently viral Breakfast Club video. I mean, it looks like by the end of the day today, it's going to have over 2 million views. And Dame Dash was also making assertions in regards to being on the board of Revolt, or I believe he said he was chairman or about to be chairman. Nevertheless, some of the folks at the Breakfast Club went and fact-checked this and determined that at least components of his statement was false, which then in turn, Dame Dash threatened to sue Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club for their statements. So here you'll see Lauren LaRosa of the Breakfast Club with a tweet reading, I just spoke to a lead publicist at Revolt TV who confirms to me Dame Dash is not the chairman of the network. And here is Dame Dash's response via his Instagram. Charlemagne, I would advise you not to make up phony sources without real names saying that anything I said was not true, or we will have a legal problem. Don't try to compromise my reputation. I have proof to support everything I say that will stand up in any court. He follows up, here goes the BS. I'm the chairman for the month. If I acquire, I will be official chairman. Please stop playing with my words and just take that L. Now, what's also interesting about this, and let's talk power plays for a quick second, is Dame Dash's motivation to be named chairman of Revolt. Okay. And he writes down here in his Instagram, don't worry, I'm not going to fire you at Mr. Cameron. You can hustle my block this month. So apparently Dame Dash and Cameron have been beefing. I did not know that. But Cameron on his podcast, It Is What It Is, also went viral earlier this week for another conversation in regards to masculinity, specific to a conversation with Adrien Broner. Let's roll the clip.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey,
What you waste that? I love you. What a guy. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Arabia, is that a real background?
Hey, Stack, can you stop
Yes.
Can you stop smiling? You.
Arabia is.
nah, yo, bro, some G, yo, bro, some G shit. We gotta. My boyfriend here, yo.
Oh, shit.
I told you that.
My bad.
Nah, like it's all like. Okay, we can move on to football then.
Stat. Oh my God.
Yo, Stat, let's do the football. I guess that answered the question about Floyd. When I see you taking off some time,
I'm mesmerized by Stat.
This nigga here, bro.
I did not know you looked that good in person. My bad, bro. You're amazing.
All right, hey, we gonna have to ask you to go, my nigga. I have to ask you to go, man. I'm gonna pay you for your time, for being here. I appreciate you. I love you, my nigga.
I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, no. I can't. I asked you the first time. I don't have no problems with you. But I'm gonna pay you for your time. But you can't violate, bro. I told you that.
I'm not, though. I'm not.
Nah, I told you niggas boyfriends are here. You know me with my brother.
Oh,
and
shit,
all that.
my bad, bro. My bad.
Nah. But I appreciate your time.
It's me.
Well, if you want to wait for us outside, you could. But I'm not gonna sit here and not value your time neither.
Damn. That's embarrassing.
You want to wait for me, you could, but I appreciate it, bro. You gotta step out. Yeah, no problem.
Good in person.
All right, let me pause it right there. A couple of things are going to jump out is, it's a damn shame what we've seen AB's career become, while also looking at a clip of him where, to me, he looks intoxicated. Intoxicated by what? Maybe alcohol. I don't know. But it's clear that some of his bad decision-making up on his podcast was more than likely drug or alcohol induced. I mean, watching his behavior, you begin to understand how, the world just came at him too fast and he couldn't handle all of the success and the women and the money that came along with it. And now to be diminished to the face of getting kicked off of a podcast because of your inability to control your lower head, it's not good to watch. But on the flip side of the coin, I appreciate what Cam did, because this at first glance looks like a situation between Cam and AB, but it's actually, you don't know what the boyfriend was doing back behind scenes or what type of drama would have been escalated once the podcast was over, or maybe even during the podcast. But for Cam to step up within that moment and say, bro, you're not being professional. So because you can't adhere to the rules or the boundaries, then you got to get up out of here. You can wait for us later. You can wait for us after. But for right now on camera, you got to get up out of here. And I also thought it was honorable, as well as a surprise that he's paying people for podcast appearances. But I thought it was honorable as well to continue to hand him over whatever bread that he was owed for his time there. But inevitably, and the reason that I wanted to juxtapose these two different situations is, what we just saw happen right here is definitely professional or strategic masculinity in the way that it was handled, either to de-escalate a situation from occurring, because if you have that bravado masculinity, right, it's going to end up a completely different way. The boyfriend might have jumped from behind the back in order to put his hands around AB for being so disrespectful in front of his face. But shout out to Cam. You know, that's the way that it should be handled. Calm, poised, full of frame, and to alleviate the situation. By the way, let me also say this as well, is that I was being kind of tongue-in-cheek throughout. Oh, my candle went out. I was kind of being tongue-in-cheek throughout this as to say that there should be a distinction between masculinity, right? I think that the bravado version of it, or the hood or the ratchet version of it, is not masculinity whatsoever. So really it shouldn't have the masculinity term. It's just, I think in the minds of most people, a lot of people think that that is masculinity, right? So I'm trying to bridge the gap, right? But I think after the bridge, you have to snap the chalk and cut it to say like, no, that's actually not masculine behavior. This other way of thinking or planning, not just reacting emotionally in a situation and responding with frame, calmness, so that it doesn't get to a place where you have to defend yourself with your training, both with your hands as well as your Second Amendment rights, so that it never has to get there, right? I think that's the type of masculinity that only serves us as men within modern times today, because shit, we already know that it served men within traditional times as well. Nevertheless, I enjoyed our stay here today. I want you guys to drop questions, comments, concerns down up in the comment box down below. Did you guys enjoy yourself here today? Whether or not you did or you didn't, I want to see your thoughts, feelings, perspectives, ideologies. Maybe we'll throw this up for a live stream for a healthy debate. What would have you done within the situation, the Cameron situation with Adrien Broner? And what would you have done in the situation with Dame Dash and Charlemagne? Would you have said something, back to Dame Dash, right? I'll be honest, too. The more that I see clips of Dame Dash, while he's hilarious and super entertaining, you begin to understand why certain people begin to distance themselves, right? Because he still got that bravado, that weird version of masculinity that he tried to, right? Like 4 people coming at you. What? So that's what makes you a man? That right? Like, whatever. Nevertheless, drop me them comments down below. I can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts. And if anything, I'll see you soon. Until next time, you two. Peace.